friends, welcome again into yet another session of mathematics into my YouTube channel, Maths with Mukesh Raj, where we were dealing with the curriculum of 10th and particularly the CBSE curriculum of class 10th, focusing on the chapter application of trigonometry, that is height and distance. Into my previous video, I have already dealt with the topic of the application of trigonometric ratios or trigonometry with respect to the three cases, and out of which I have discussed one of them. And today I am here to discuss with the remaining two cases with you. Hope all my dear and near friends are doing good, practicing well, and are finding themselves in good health so that they would score more into their coming exams. So, friends, with this welcome note, let us not waste the time and directly dive into the topic of the application of trigonometry, height and distance, where we will discuss the remaining two cases where we can apply the calculative methods to find out the height and distance with respect to the angle of elevation and depreciation. So the first case that we have discussed was very simple, where we had dealt with the topic like where we have been provided with simple height and distance with the simple height and the distance between the object, that is the observer, and the object, that is that can be a cliff, that can be a tower, that can be any building or a tall tower. In this case, let us discuss about the second case, discuss about the case, about a very specific case where the object or the observer is continuously on a move. That means the observer can be either moving towards the object, that is the cliff or the tower or a very long building, tall building. As you can see there in the diagram, A, B, C and D. Okay, since ABC forms a right angle triangle, similarly the triangle ABD is also a right angle triangle. Now into this triangle we can see that there is a angle, the angle, right angle has been formed at the angle B, at the point B, vertex B, whereas the angle of elevation is there of y degrees and x degrees respectively at point C and D, which is some distance apart from the tower, which is AB. Now this is a case or situation where we have to apply the height and distance, or the application of trigonometry is supposed to be used to find out this distance, that how far the object has moved from either C to D or from D to C, so as to calculate the height of the object, that is a tower, cliff, a tall tree or a tall building. Okay, now let us assume that the distance between D and C is small d. I had taken it just for the easiness of understanding, d for distance. Now the point to be taken into account or consideration is that whenever the observer moves away from the point B, remember that the angle of elevation always decreases as it is moving far away from the point. So the angle of elevation will start, or it will keep on decreasing, and a moment will come when it will become exactly equal to that of the distance, that is the line dB, or we can call it bilkul, that is 0. And as we move towards the cliff or towards the point B, if suppose the observer is at point D and it is moving towards point C, then in that case the angle of elevation is being increased continuously. So these are the two situations which we have to take into consideration and see if this is the case, or if this is one of the cases where we need to find out the either the h or the distance d, we can directly use this formula to calculate it. Though we can use the cognitive method, where we can use the different trigonometric ratios to get these values calculated by applying different mathematical operations too. The formula stands like this, that the distance between the point C and D, or D and C, which is the observer, where the observer is on a continuous move towards the tower, towards the point B or away from the point B, then the distance between C and D will be equal to h multiplied by the cot of value x minus the cot of value y. Why? Because as I told you, when the observer is moving away from the point B, the angle of elevation will be decreasing, whereas the observer, if moves towards the point B, then the angle of elevation will be in a increase. So this was the second case which we had to discuss before we dive into the problems and solve different cases for the problem solution. Hope this concept would add to your knowledge and help you a lot in solving the problems. Moving on to the next case, that is the third case, where we are going to use a very common method, and we have come across this method many a times, or rather we can say that we have studied about this concept in the previous classes. That is the similarity property of the triangle, or it is also known as the BPT, or it is also called as the synonym of the Thales theorem. Thales theorem. Friends, case 3 says that suppose that there is a situation of the similar kind which is represented here in the form of A, B, C, and then we are having D, E, and C. So here these two triangles, if you draw them independently, as two different triangles, then we can say that we have formed two similar triangles in a way. This is the point A, B, and C. Likewise, we are having point E, D, and C. So we can very much easily prove that these two are the similar triangles. So directly we can use the properties of similar triangle to find the different missing parameters. Whether it be the observer is moving at the point like say the D or A. So here in this case what happens is that suppose that the angle of elevation or the angle of depression, the angle of elevation or the angle of depression is being getting solved by the help of the property of the similar triangles, and the formula that we can use here will be very clear, that we are going to use the BPT theorem or the basic proportionality theorem or the Thales theorem, which says that the ratio of the side AB to that of the ratio of the side ED will be equal to that of the ratio of the side BC, that is the longer one, to that of the smaller one, that is DC. So friends, these are the three different cases which are supposed to be considered while solving the problems of the application of trigonometry, particularly applying in the case of height and distance. So hope this concept again will add to your knowledge and enhance the problem solving skills of yours, that again will be reflected into your results and the score that you are going to gain into your exams. So dear friends, before ending this session, a humble request: if you have not subscribed my channel, please go and subscribe it as soon as possible, and then share my video if it finds worthy for you. So hope to see you very soon into the next video, where we are going to deal with the problems of the three cases one after another, that will be seen into the next consecutive videos. Thank you so much, friends. Bye bye, take care.